Okay, we are recording. Hello, you guys. I hope that you're having a fabulous Sunday. Okay, so when Shay asked me to do the Zoom tonight, I didn't know what I was going to talk about. And if you know me, you know that I'm going to pray about it before I talk about it. So I prayed really, really hard about it. I asked some of our leaders what everyone might be struggling with, what you might need to hear. And the things that they said are the biggest lessons that I've ever learned in this business. And they were a key part of me promoting every single time and just being the leader that I've been able to become over the 2.5 years I've been here, okay? So I want to ask you a question, and I'm going to go off my notes because I really took notes. If you know me, I don't take notes, so this is a big deal, okay? So first, I told you to bring a piece of paper and a pen or a pencil or something to write with, okay? You'll understand later, but for now, I want you to write down the number one person that you look up to in this biz, okay? So somebody, it doesn't matter rank-wise, nothing. Just when you think of success in this business or you think of the kind of leader that you want to be, who's the first person that comes to your mind? Okay, I want you to write them down, type it in your notes, however it is. Okay, think about that person. Okay. Now I want you to ask yourself, what do you envision that person doing every single day? Their success, their mindset, something about them attracts you to them. You're pulled to them. You're pulled towards their vibe, their success, maybe whatever it is. I want you to envision what you feel as that person does every single day to be the leader that they are, or be the worker that they are, or whatever it is. Be the mom that they are, be the servant leader that they are, whatever it is. Envision that, okay? Okay, now I want you to be really honest with yourself, okay? And I had to ask myself this question yesterday, and it was a reality check. I want you to ask yourself, these past 2 weeks, have you done something every single day to bring you closer to your goal? Okay, I want you to drop a 1 in the comments if you feel that you could be doing more to progress towards your goal quicker over the next 2 weeks. Okay. All right. We got some 1s. Fab. Okay. So everyone has a 1. That means we're gonna be hitting the hard stuff tonight because this is my favorite stuff to talk about. Okay. So if you had to pick one thing, what would it be that you feel is holding you back from your your fullest momentum, what you could be doing the most of? What is the one thing that you think is holding you back? Write it down on that piece of paper, in your notes, say it out loud, whatever it is. If you're with somebody and you don't have a piece of paper and notebook, I want you to say it out loud to that person. Okay, write down whatever you feel is the number one thing that's been holding you back. Okay, drop a 2 when you've done that. All right, okay. Okay, so I want you to drop a 3 in the comments if your thing that's holding you back has to do with some kind of fear. Drop a 3, some kind of fear, right? Okay, if one of these hits you, I want you to drop another 1. If your fear is, my friends might make fun of me. My family consistently tells me that this is not going to work. It's a scam. It's just not like it doesn't matter how much I do this, it's never going to be substantial. Okay? Maybe it's a spouse. I get this one a lot. Spouse telling you, what if this doesn't work? What if you put all this work and all this hope into something that you don't even know anything about? Okay? Drop a 1 if you related to any of that. Okay, now I want to ask you this last one. Do you feel as if you don't have time? Maybe you're working another job. Maybe you're a stay-at-home mom. Whatever it is, do you ever feel as if you don't have the time? Okay. let me tell you something. So if you have a fear of your friends making fun of you, let me tell you right now, I don't have a single person in my friend group that would ever tell me that whatever I'm going for is unattainable or unachievable. So my answer for you is that you have a crappy friend group. You're going to have to grow outside your circle if you want to grow in your business. You ever heard that? You have to level your circle if you want to level up. You know, I heard this one time, and I don't know where I heard it, but I've heard it since I heard it that one time, and I literally hear it all the time. The 5 people that you surround yourself with are what you are. You're a sum of the 5 people that you surround yourself with. Okay? So would you say that the 5 people you surround yourself with are a good influence every single day? No. If you have a single person in that friend group that has something negative to say about your business, about who you're with in your relationship, about how you parent your children, about how you decide how to use your time in your life, I'm going to tell you to cut the cord. Okay? I've cut the cord with people who put any kind of negative energy. And the second that I did that, you guys, my business changed. Okay? I want to move on to the next one because the next one I feel like hits a lot of people. My armpits are sweating. It's not even hot in my house. It's like 62 degrees because Caleb thinks it's Canada, but you know, okay. So, family. Drop a 1 if family was your objection. I'm scared of what my family's going to say. My family already denies me. Okay, let me tell you something. If you don't know who I am, my name's Katey Battenfield. I'm a 20-year-old stay-at-home mom, started this business at 18. I was working tons and tons of hours. I was going 18 hours in school. I told my parents about this business and they laughed at me. Literally laughed. And I'm not kidding, like literally laughed at me. Not a single person in my family bought a single product until 6 months into my business. 6 months, you know? So my shopping spree didn't come from my family. And I got that. Okay. My Ruby promotion did not come from my family. My Emerald promotion, definitely not. My Diamond promotion, absolutely not. My parents to this day have never bought products. They still don't think my business is substantial. But you know what? I went from working way too much, going to school way too much, being extremely miserable, to now I'm a triple diamond at 20 years old and I'm a stay-at-home mom. Am I right? Can I get an amen? Okay. So I just want you to ask yourself, seriously, legitimately ask yourself this out loud. Like I really want you to hear yourself say this. Do they pay my bills? Does their opinion or their hate or their doubt, if you cash that in on your bill, is it going to stay paid? Go ahead, drop me your answer if they pay your bills. I saw this TikTok the other day, and she was talking about, you know what, I'm going to put my bills right here, and you let me know which one you want to pay. And it got me thinking about my business. I was like, I bet you if I put my electric bill up on Instagram, none of my haters, none of my people that don't respond to my reach out message, they ain't going to pay my bills. But you know what does pay my bills? This business that I doubted and I was scared of, and I made excuses. And you guys, if you don't know who I am, I got really, really low into my business last year, and it was because of opinions and because I heard something. It took me 2 months to go diamond after I went emerald because a mean girl from high school commented on my post. It took me an extra 60 days to go diamond. If it doesn't pay your bills, it's not relevant. Because I promise you this business can pay your bills if you're willing to meet it halfway, okay? I really have a lot going, but I just want you to hear all this first, okay? Next, spouse. I want to read this because I typed this out and it was gold, okay? Has your spouse ever said, what if this isn't long-term? What if you put a lot into this and you don't get anything out? Okay, drop me a 1 if you heard that. Do you know what Caleb asked me when I signed up? I remember him asking me this, and I went to the bathroom to hit submit. I was actually, Shay, if I'm just going to be real honest, I was sitting on the bathroom counter, hiding in my bathroom, and I hit submit because Caleb wouldn't stop making fun of me. Okay? To this day, I can ask him why he made fun of me. And he was like, Katey, because I didn't think this was really going to last. I thought you were going to take time away from your job, and that was going to sacrifice money, and you were going to put all this into this business, and then nothing was going to happen. Let me just tell you. I typed it. Anything that your spouse is saying right now that's negative towards this business, the enemy is in their head, and it's fear. It's just fear. This business can't do you any harm. This is a Christian-based business. They're plant-based products. Y'all, we collaborated with Dr. Nassif. He is a doctor. A doctor. There's nothing negative about this business. The only negativity that comes from this business is the enemy. And that's only when you're so close to something, you know? It's fear that someone is saying something about you to them, or the fear that they're going to put so much hope into this business and be disappointed. You ever had so much hope in something and then it just like didn't happen and you were crushed for weeks? Can you imagine a spouse putting that much trust into something and it being ripped away? Time from your children, time from your job, and then for you to give up and have wasted all that time. That's where that fear is coming. The fear is not the doubt in your capability. It's not the doubt in the company. It's the doubt that you're going to give and not get anything back because you quit. Because this is a business. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Now, go ahead, draw me a 1 if you got another job and you think that you don't have time for this business because you work another job. Please draw me a 1. Please. Alrighty, Rue. Okay. Let me ask you something. If you're not diamond and above, and you just drop me a 1, draw me a 2 if you're not diamond and above. Okay. Let me ask you, if you don't go to your job Monday through Friday, do you get paid? No? Okay. So, what you're saying is that you have to show up for a job in order to get paid, correct? Drop me a yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, logically, you want to go diamond, but your other job takes up too much time, correct? Tell me if I'm right. All right. I don't know a single person who's diamond and above on this Zoom that did not go diamond working a full-time job or working a part-time job or going to school. So let me ask you, what are you willing to give here? Are you willing to stay up a little later and get up earlier and take it seriously and give your business to the Lord? Because I'm going to tell you right now, if saying that out loud makes you feel weird, then sister, you got some work to do. Okay? If you just rolled your eyes when I said, you need to get up a little earlier or stay up a little later. I'm a mom, and I have now realized that I need about 4 hours of sleep. 4. You know what? I'm going to respond to these comments, but I'm not going to call out the names. I'm not a morning or a night person. I don't like to get up early, and I don't like to stay up late. I like to get up at around 9 a.m., and I like to go to sleep at about 8 p.m., okay? But guess what? I could not go to school and work a full-time job and run a successful business. Sometimes it takes giving more in order for you to have more in return in the long run. You know? Because, okay, if you go to school, if you're in college, and you go 18 hours, 15 hours, whatever you do, you do that for 4 years, right? And then you probably work. Or most people work while they're in school. The 5th year, when you go get your full-time job, I bet you that you don't stay up all night studying like you did in college. Am I right? You put in all this extra work so that you could have your dream job to provide your dream life. So why do you put this on any different standards? You know, you want the extra income, you want the recognition, you want all this stuff, but like, you know, you don't want to give. So you make the changes necessary in order to have the life that you want. If you won't make the changes, you won't make the income. I'm telling you, I've done it. I've made the excuses, you guys. If you don't know, I'm going to tell you bits and pieces of my story kind of throughout because I'm thinking of it as I go. But I signed up for this business, working, going to school full time. After I went diamond, I had a baby. I'm still breastfeeding. I saw that comment. I'm still breastfeeding. My baby's a year and a half old and I still breastfeed. Okay. I didn't sleep. My baby had a milk allergy. And for the first 6 weeks of her life, my doctor told me to drink like a crap ton of milk. She had a milk allergy. No sleep. Never. I looked like a zombie. I had like permanent eye bags, not designer ones. They were fake. They were just, no sleep. Okay. I worked this business. After I had my baby, I went double diamond 2 months after my baby was born. 8 weeks into her life, I went double diamond on no sleep, breastfeeding. Little did I know, I also had postpartum depression and anxiety. So even when my baby was asleep, I wasn't sleeping because I was so scared she wasn't going to wake up that I didn't even sleep then. I was going crazy, you guys. But I still went double diamond because my family deserved that $5,000 a month. My family deserved that bonus. So I worked and worked and worked until I got it. Because I was willing to sacrifice it. I was willing to push through the hard because I knew that my family was going to be comfortable and I was going to be able to do the things I needed to do if I could just do it, because it doesn't last forever. You being tired is not going to kill you. You doing a little bit more work is not going to hurt you. What is going to hurt you, it's going to hurt your heart and it's going to hurt your mind, is if you half-assed do this. So sorry, Shay, I know this is going on YouTube, it just came out. But if you halfway do this, you're going to get a halfway income. But if you're willing to make the changes every single day, do you know that you'll have that life-changing income? When I started this at 18 years old, I was like, maybe I can cover my electricity bill. I've bought 2 vehicles. I'm moving into a new house in 2 weeks. I'm working on paying off all my debt. I already paid off all Caleb's debt. I provide my family with a comfortable life because I was willing to sacrifice. So if you gave me any of the objections before, I feel you. I get the tired. I get the family objections. I get the friends making fun of you. I get the spouse not trusting you and believing in you 110%. But sister, if it was easy, then everyone would go diamond and above, and it really wouldn't be that cool anymore, now would it? You want to be in that top 1% page? You want to be in those diamond chats? You want to do all the things? Then you're going to have to give a little bit more than what you're doing now in order to get to the end point that you're craving. We're not called leaders for no reason. We're leaders because we lead people to get to this point. But the only way we can lead you to this point is if you're willing to do the things that we did to get here. Okay, let's move on to my notes. Okay. So let me ask you this, okay? Kate said this in our chat. Your team is always going to do what you do. And I said a hole in front of Charlotte the other day, and she said it. Okay. I related this to my business the second that she did it, and I was like, oh my God, I've created a monster. Because have you ever heard a little kid cuss and it's so funny, but then you just start to think about like how they got to that point? If they're 3 years old, they're not in school, they don't have siblings, they just have mommy and daddy as their influence, right? The only people that they learned a-hole from is mommy and daddy, because that's the influence and that's the leader in their life, right? So if they do it, they think they can be like mommy and daddy if they do the things that mommy and daddy do, right? That baby is going to continue to do what their parents do because they think that that's what's going to make them like mommy and daddy. And mommy and daddy are everything to them right now. Okay, so let me ask you, when you enrolled with your enroller, did you not think they were the coolest thing ever? Because they're making money from their phone, and they have a team, and they have a team chat, and they have all these friends, and they understand this lingo, and they're introducing you to something real cool, right? You think they're cool. Okay. Well, this is going to go for all ranks. I'm talking to everybody. You cannot expect them to get their 6 customers, expect them to chart themselves for any kind of promotion, expect them to do anything if you're not doing the same thing. Because you're mommy and daddy to them. They're your little baby ducks. And if you can't lead those baby ducks, they're gonna keep doing the same bad behavior, you know? Because they're only gonna do what you're doing because you're the leader. And they're gonna mimic every single thing you do because you make all this money and you have all this recognition and you have this community and you do this and you do that and you do this. But if you're only following 20 people a day and you're only sending one message or when you feel like it or maybe once a month or you're working on the first week, but the 4th week you don't really feel like it because you like wanna watch Netflix because that new season came out. Okay, sister. So were they. When you take 4 hours to respond to your newbies, but you expect them to respond the second that you message them, but you didn't respond. So why do they have to respond? They're still going to be successful. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't make sense, right? When you put it in that perspective as they're your babies and they're going to do everything that you do, are you setting the right example? Are you being loud about your promotion? Are you doing the things that you asked them to do? I was on this coffee chat the other day and she was like, do you guys go through your friends list anymore and just message A to Z? Well, no, because that's what we tell newbies to do, and we're not newbies, so why should we have to do that? That's like busy work. That's like I have to go look at my Facebook and actually go through every single one. Imagine if you went through your Facebook friends and you messaged A to Z. Do you know how many new friends you probably have? How many people you've unfriended? How many new people you have? But you're not going to know because you're not a newbie and you're too cool. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to challenge you this. When you tell your newbie to do something, I want you to do it. Do the same thing with them. Do you know? Okay, homegirl, then you're not checking profiles. Don't friend someone if they look like a distributor. Or if they have too many mutual friends, don't friend them. That's the easiest fix I can give you. Okay, let's move on to my next topic. Okay. So have you ever heard that your team is a mirror of you? This used to make me angry. I want you to drop a 1 if you feel me on this. I'm doing all the things and my team's not doing anything and I'm the only one working for this promotion and nobody's doing what I say and nobody believes me and nobody gets on my Zooms and nobody responds to my group chat. Drop me a 1 if you've ever had that complaint. You're doing all the things, but ain't nobody else doing what you're doing because you work the hardest and you do all the things, okay? Yeah, okay. This is my favorite topic. So you know how we just talked about how your team's gonna do what you do? Well, if you start complaining to your downline or you start putting negative vibes out there about nobody's working and nobody's doing this and nobody's doing that, let me just tell you, sister, if you've got time to complain, you're not doing enough. That's all I gotta say. If you have the time to go spread some negative vibes in somebody else's direction, sister, you got time to be messaging. You got time to be following. You got time to be growing your network. You've got time to be doing self-development, because let me just tell you that when I say out loud that my team's not doing enough, it's usually because I'm not doing enough and I did something for 24 hours and I expected for my whole team, I didn't work for 3 weeks, okay? This is not true, Shay, okay? Don't yell at me, not true. But say I didn't work for 3 weeks and then on the 22nd day, I'm like, everyone needs to message 300 people. Hello, I'm trying to go press. Where you guys at? They're dead, right? And nobody was working. and I had a crappy mindset and I wasn't doing all the things. Well, Sister Sue, it's probably going to take them 3 weeks to come back. So check yourself before you talk about your team like that. They're not working. They have negative attitudes. They do this. What are you vibing off? Because it's a hard reality check. I remember on the first, I called Shay, and I call Shay a lot with these kinds of things, and she tells me. And I called her, I was like, well, I'm not chartered for triple, like my team's not working, this isn't doing this, and this isn't doing this, and this isn't happening, and this person has this attitude, and there's this drama going on, there's this and this. And she was like, yeah, but Katey, like, what have you done, bro? Well, I'm Katey B, like, I ain't gotta do nothing. You guys, all I did was start working, and my team started working, and our volume went back up, then went triple, then we popped a diamond, and they just kept going. The promotions kept coming. The new people kept coming. Yep. Ms. Shay just commented, what can you control? She always asks me that. Okay, but like, what can you control? And I'm like, well, I want to control everything, but can you control everything? What can you control? What you can control is who comes into your business and what you put out there and what you're doing every single day, okay? So let's move on. Next topic. Okay. What can you change about your business? I want you to put this in the comments so you can see how many people are kind of on the same page as you. What can you change in your business right now? Can you change how much time you put in? Can you change your schedule? Can you change your to-do list? Can you change your vibe? Can you change your work ethic? Okay. So I'm seeing belief, work more, enrollments, mindset, personal development, time, work ethic, everything. My time, more belief, less fear, more productive. I need more work, my schedule, time management, everything. Okay. You all have the same thing in common. You want to move forward, right? Did you see all these names in the comments? If you didn't look at the comments, go look at the chat. If you recognize one of these names, I want you to message them and tell them what you have in common. Make that person your accountability partner. Love on them. Send them an encouraging message. Because you remember how in the beginning we talked about your circle? If you are willing to work with people who want to go farther and want to go where you're going, and you can constantly push each other, you're slowly going to change your circle from the 5 people you have now to the 5 people that you want to be, or 5 people that work just as hard as you. And you can pour into each other. You know, when I feel low, I call Shay, or I call Shy, or I call Ash, or I talk to Kayla sometimes, or I call Sarah when I have questions. And do you see those people that I just named? They're all people who are where I want to be, or people who constantly pour positive energy into me. And that's how I keep going in this business. You know how hard it is to do good things when all you have is bad things around you? Go ahead, give me a 1. It feels like a big blanket, okay? And everyone's holding a corner. And you keep dropping this weight in the middle. You know how annoying that would be? You can't pop a blanket, you can't make a parachute, you can't make it do the little thingy with the weight in the middle. You know? So why do you think that you can go up in this business if you constantly got someone pushing you down? You live with negative people, then sister, you gotta have to do extra self-development. Because the only thing that you can control is how you behave in those situations, how you respond to them. What kind of influence will you be to them? Something that I've had to start asking myself is, how can I help them? Because there comes a certain point in your business where it's no longer about you. Actually, after you go Ruby, it's no longer about you, like 110% no longer about you, because you have people looking up to you and you have a team. In the comments, I'm not going to call you out, but it's still just how you respond, because you have no idea the kind of influence that you have on people around you. Because if they have influence on you, I bet you that you have influence on them. You know how hard it is to be the annoying mopey person when there's somebody bopping around with like sunshines and butterflies and unicorns and sparkles? It's so hard not to be consumed with that. you know? You feel like a jerk. And even if you don't act like it, you know in your heart that you're being the Debbie Downer right now. It's annoying. You're annoying when you act like that, when there's somebody so happy. And the thing is that positivity and just the good vibes and energy is so contagious. It's like walking into a pink cloud of smoke, and it's just like, you can't leave because they won't stop being happy, and the only way they're going to shut up is if you get happy too, you know? It'll change. But you have to be the change. And that's within your team, within your environment, whatever is going on right now, you have to be that change. And if it's a leader situation, okay? You know, if maybe you're like, well, I don't know, nobody in my downline better say this, but if you don't have a leader who's doing the leader things and you're craving something more, why don't you pick someone that you want to be like and start mimicking what they do? I want to challenge you. Go follow them on Instagram. Turn their post notifications on. I tell my newbies to turn my post notifications on so they always see when I'm posting, so it reminds them to post. Okay. Go do what they're doing. If they're not doing enough, be that leader. Be that positivity. Be the influence. Be the change. Because at the end of the day, the only thing that you can control is how you behave in situations and how you run your business. If you have people in your downline who are negative and they constantly got something to say, or they constantly have a problem that they don't want an answer to, go find more people. You got to go talk on your story. You got to go get out there loud. You got to go talk about how freaking cool it is that you make money from your phone. Had I been 18, when I didn't graduate high school at 18, at 17 years old, had somebody approached me with the opportunity to make money from my phone, I probably would have laughed. But had they told me all the ins and outs, and they might have posted on their story, or I heard it on Snapchat, or whatever it is that you work your business, that's the coolest freaking job in the world. Me and Court were talking about this yesterday. Literally got money deposited into my bank account yesterday from a job that I work from my phone while I hold Charlotte in the recliner. Or from a job that I get to spend my evenings talking to people about how to better their business, how to better their mindsets. I get to train people to be the leader. You know, that's what I get paid for. I get paid to be the influence. I get paid to help people in this business. I get paid to help people get started on products or start their business or launch their business or whatever it is. And that's the coolest freaking job in the world. And if you don't believe that, that's your problem, sister. That is your problem. You need to be as excited about this business and your job that you have your hands on, the opportunity that you have your hands on, as you are when you go find the newest pair of shoes. When you go find the best tasting burger ever at that new burger joint. The new snow cone combination that you tried. The new freaking cocktail that you made the other day and you're telling everyone on Facebook about it. That's the excitement that you have to breed from this business in order to attract the people that you want in your business. It's not going to happen overnight. Okay. It's not, you can't do it for 24 hours and expect to go ambassador diamond. But what you can do is you can start today. And you can start responding to situations better and being patient and talking to the Lord about your business. And make sure I don't have anything else in my notes. And just being the example. You have to be the example in this business. In order for you to have a successful team, you have to be setting the good example. And sometimes that's hard. Sometimes it is. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes I don't want to respond. Sometimes I don't want to be happy. But what if I got over myself for 5 seconds and responded to the message? It took me 2 seconds. Or what if I'm in a crappy mood and I can turn on some sermon on YouTube, or I can turn a podcast on. I can change the environment. That's something I can control. The way you feel in your business, anything that's going on, how you're leading, how your team is, everything is controlled by you. Is that intimidating? Drop a 1 if that's intimidating. Is if you look at your business and you're like, this is a direct mirror of me. Like, this is a reflection. What can I change? What can you change? These are my challenges for you tonight. I'm almost through, but these are my challenges. I want you to start doing every single thing your newbie does. Every instruction that you would have given them, even if they're not doing it, you do it. Because somebody's got to do it. So you do it. Second, I want you to be the change in vibes. Don't be the person who comes to your upline, to your leader, to your sideline with a problem that you don't want fixed. If it's a complaint and you are not going to be receptive to the answer, don't even say it. In my business, in my downline, I would rather you not even say it to me if you're not going to be receptive to my solution. I'd rather not even hear it. Because you're wasting your time and you're wasting my time. You came into this business wanting more. And I give you a solution for more. And you don't want to do more for it. So change the vibe. If you're that person, if you're that negative person, all it takes is one mindset shift. That's all it is. It's a flip. It's a switch. That's it. Make sure that you're open to that solution. And if you're somebody like me who's like really hella red, and when Shay used to tell me to do stuff, I'd be like, I'm not doing it like that. I'm going to do it this way. Let me tell you, even if you want to tell them that, do what they asked you to do. Because I bet 9 times out of 10 it works. That'll start to shift. You'll start to be more coachable. You'll start to be more positive. You'll start to be more patient with people. Okay? And that's for greens too. Those reds and those greens, sometimes they don't like to be coachable. But if you'll just suck it up, put your pride aside, and just do it. Not only are you growing as a leader, but you might actually have some enrollments, you know? It's the enrollments, if we're just going to be real, if you're either of those. So I know this wasn't one of my super hype Zooms that I was planning for it to be, but I prayed before this Zoom and I was like, just give me what they need to hear. Even if it's not hype, even if it's not excited, just give me something that's going to mean something to somebody. And so I hope that you guys took away from this. Oh, hold up, pause. We're going to do something else. Does everybody remember that piece of paper I told you to write on? Got it? Give me a thumbs up. Ainsley, I see you. Did you write it down? All right. I want you to write down your biggest fear, what we talked about earlier. Write it down, no matter what it is. Okay, mine used to be my dad making fun of me. I used to get so embarrassed so quickly that I would literally cry. Like, I'm that person, if you embarrass me in a crowd, I'll literally cry. So shy. And so I used to be so scared to talk about the business around my dad or post about the business on Facebook because I knew my dad would see it. So if it's that, even if it's that small, write it down. And then, hold on, I'm going to switch this to gallery view so that when people watch the replay, they can see this part. Okay. Everybody show me your piece of paper. I want to see it. I can see all of you now, so I'd like to see your piece of paper. Okay. Okay, I want you to take it out of your notebook that you just wrote it in. Go ahead, rip it out. Take it out. Okay. And then show me when you tore it out, right? Show me, show me. Okay. Now we're just gonna, ready? I wanna see. We're just gonna, just like this. Just like so, okay? And it's gotta be small. Like if it's not really small, it's still kind of there because you can probably still read it, right? So it needs to be like confetti sized. Okay. And I want you to say out loud. I want you to say this out loud. Turn your camera on if you're able. The enemy no longer controls my business. I can see your mouth, so you better say it. I'll call you out if I don't see your mouth move. The enemy no longer controls my business. There we go. I am here because this opportunity was set forth. Say it. I'm here because this opportunity was set forth for me to be a better human and to move forward for whatever it is, whether it's finances, whether you're growing in your faith. I posted this earlier because this has been on my mind, is that not everyone comes into this for finances. And if you're red, you probably target the finances a lot, right? Not everyone comes into this business for extra money. Some people come into this business because you're that light for them. You're that positive energy, whether you're post or copy and pasted, whatever it is, they're drawn to you because of your positive energy. They see hope in you. You're influencing somebody. So at the least, when you don't work your business, you're taking that from somebody. You're taking that hope, that light. So just remember that, like, yes, you're here for the finances, and yes, you can make money, and yes, you can build a massive empire. But when you don't show up, you're taking that from somebody. And that's the enemy, blocking them from that opportunity. Okay, so one more time. The enemy no longer controls my business. Okay, there we go. Okay, you guys, that's all I had. I will download it and upload it to Shade's YouTube tonight. If it downloads tonight, I'm not really sure how long it'll take. But I hope that you guys have a wonderful Sunday night. And I'll see you on Leader Zoom tomorrow if you're here for that. Okay, bye, friends.